Yo, 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 what's happening, people? Reese M in the place. Reese M in the house right now. Ella, oh, Ella mate, okay. Ella mate. But Ella is not your mate. I don't know, is Ella not your mate? Why isn't Ella your mate? Maybe Ella should be a mate. I'm sure Ella is a nice person. I don't know if you know anybody called Ella. I know, well, I used to know, I should say, one person called Ella. A long time ago when I used to work at a place. Didn't know her that well, to be fair. Yeah, she was, I guess. I mean, you know, wasn't a bad person. I don't think she seemed to be okay. I don't think I spoke to her all that much. But yeah, Ella should be your mate. If you know an Ella, make her your mate. But how's everybody doing? Let me switch over to this screen. Ben's in the house as well. Big up Ben, big up Reese. Appreciate you guys coming through. How is you? It is Monday movie night, back to watch Burglar, starring Whoopi Goldberg. It is on, well, I'm watching it on Amazon. It is rented. I'm renting it on Amazon to watch. You can do that if you want to. You can buy it if you want to. You can, if you got it on DVD or Blu-ray, you can do that. Any kind of format, if you got it there, get it ready on Zero. But Chip, you don't want to do that. You don't gas to do that. It's all good. You can still come along and have some fun. What up, Ben? Evening, Haze, Reese, and Ella. She just never earned it. Oh, fair enough, fair enough. Burglar, not heard of that one. Yeah, this was recommended by Braxton. There's quite a few on the list, and I believe quite a reasonable number of them were actually recommended by Brax. I don't believe I've heard of it before either, but it stars Whoopi Goldberg, who is legendary. Big up Whoopi Goldberg all day, every day. But this is from 1987. So we watched another Whoopi Goldberg movie a little while ago, a few weeks back. Excuse me. And now it's another one. Time for another Whoopi Goldberg movie before we get back to Arnie season. What's the next week for Arnie season? We've done Commando. It's Raw Deal next week for Arnie season. So get that ready on Zero. Well, not right now, of course, but you know. Yeah, my weekend was alright. Just working mostly, doing the cab work. Managed to finish off watching Secret Invasion with Samuel L. Jackson over on Disney Plus, which I really liked, but apparently a lot of people hated it. I don't know why, but I thought it was really good. I mean, I think with Marvel shows, like the Marvel TV shows, it's probably fair to say that I don't think they're trying to make masterpieces when it comes to their TV shows. I mean, of course they don't want to, nobody wants to make something rubbish, right? But I don't think their goal is necessarily to make like the best TV show in the world ever. I feel like their goal is to just make something decent that has good story, good action, and ultimately gives you something a little bit extra to all the main stuff going on. And I feel like they accomplished that with Secret Invasion. You know, it was a good story that's pretty much self-contained. It could kind of link to bigger stuff if they needed to, but it's pretty much self-contained, where you don't have to have seen like a million other shows to know what's going on. You can just kind of watch the show and enjoy it for what it is. It's only 6 episodes, so it's kind of so it's pretty short, about 40 minutes each episode, like 40-50 minutes each episode. So it feels like it's a good length for a modern day show where you got enough time to tell a good story without it being so long that it just feels daunting, you know. So I liked it. I thought it was really cool. I thought it had some good action, some good storytelling, a really great villain with Kingsley Benadir. I don't believe I've seen him in anything before. I know he's done some, was it I don't remember what it's called, but I know there's a popular show that I think he's in that all the girls like, you know, one of them types of shows. But yeah, it's the first time I've seen him in anything, and dude was incredible. So yeah, I really liked Secret Invasion. That definitely gets the Haze recommendation, even though most people seem to hate it for whatever reason. But hey, can't please them all, I suppose. Did have to feature Whoopi for Brax? I think, yeah. I mean, I think he's well, to be fair, no, he's recommended stuff that don't have Whoopi, but yeah, can't be mad at that. Whoopi is legendary. Whoopi doesn't get enough respect on The View. I've watched The View a few times, and they need to give Whoopi more respect. Like they took her off the show because she said something one time or I thought they suspended her or something like that. I'm like, nah. Whoopi needs to be running that show. Let's be real. She's the only one that anybody's ever heard of outside of that show. Like, I ain't trying to be rude in that, but let's be real. If you ever watched The View, once Raven Simone left, like Whoopi was the only one that anybody's ever heard of outside of The View. The others, like, I'm sure they've done stuff. I ain't saying that. I'm sure they've all done stuff, but let's keep it real. Like, the only one you know that you've heard of outside of that show was Whoopi Goldberg, and Whoopi Goldberg's legendary. So yeah, they need to give her more respect. Can't be taken off the show just because she has an opinion. Bloody show's called The View. You're supposed to have viewpoints. Anyway, old news now. Old news. To watch the UFC the other night. Do you guys follow UFC? Not too much, no. Well, not at all, really. But yeah, it was a big event. I never really bother with reviews. Usually, if I do check, it's after I've seen the film or show. You know, same. Yeah, I very rarely check a review before I watch something. I mean, of course, you kind of hear opinions sometimes going around because everybody throws their opinion on Twitter these days, so you sometimes hear stuff, but I very rarely, if ever, these days check a review before I watch a movie. In fact, I didn't really check the reviews for Secret Invasion either. It's just, again, just people's opinions on it. But yeah, you're right, I don't like to do that. It kind of taints, well, I mean, I guess it doesn't necessarily taint your opinion. You can still enjoy it or not like it, whatever, either way, but sometimes reviews, like some of the YouTube channels that do reviews, I feel like sometimes they give away too much of the movie in their review. Like, they're not really reviewing it, they're just telling you what's happened. And it's like, I don't want you to tell me what happens. You know, if I'm watching a review, like if I want to decide whether I see a movie or not, and I'm watching a review or reading a review, I don't need you to tell me what happens. You know, you just need to give like a general idea of maybe like the very basic plot, you know, like not so much the details of things, that just the kind of very basic like, oh, it's about a guy who, you know, wants to seek revenge for people that did him wrong. Like, you could do stuff like that without telling you what he did wrong, you know, how he seeks revenge. You don't need to go into, and that's what a lot of these reviews, they just tell you what happens in the movie, and I'm like, bro, come on. But the worst ones that I see, where it's like you have like 3 or 4 people in the video, and they're having a discussion about the movie, right? The video is like an hour plus long, and then the title of the video will say something like spoiler-free review of a movie or whatever it is. And it's like, mate, you are not talking for over an hour with 3 people and keeping it spoiler-free. That's not happening. You know what I mean? Like, you're not keeping it spoiler free if you're talking for over an hour. Come on now. And of course, you watch the video and there are spoilers in it, like, throughout. It's like, you're taking a piss, bro. You're taking a piss. Like, at an hour, if you go in more than like 30 minutes, like 20-30 minutes, it's not a review, it's a discussion of the film, and that's fine. I don't mind that, but call it what it is. You know what I mean? Call it what it is. It's a discussion. You know, you're talking about the film, maybe not in super detail, but you're talking about the film, you know what I mean? So, or the show, or whatever. Call it what it is. Don't be calling it a review, especially don't be calling it a spoiler-free review when it's like an hour long, 3 people in the video, and they're all just discussing everything that's happening. It's like, nah, you're taking the piss, bro. But anyway, it's my mini rant over. You know who you are. You know who you was doing them things, talking like spoiler-free review, and it's an hour long, or hour plus long, hour 30 minutes, 2-hour videos, spoiler-free. Nah, you know who you are. You know exactly who you are. But anyway, alright, let me catch up with the chat a little bit. Haze rant indeed. Hashtag Haze rant. Need to get that one trending. Is the View an American version of Loose Women? Was a genuine company on it? I think so, yeah. I think it is. I mean, to be honest, I don't know which one came first, but yeah, I mean, they're the same type of show where you have mostly women on the show. I think they do have guys occasionally, I guess, but it's mostly like the same. I think like 3, 4 women that were on the show as a panelist, and they talk about their different viewpoints on subjects that happen and stuff like that. So yeah, it's the same type of show as Loose Women, but yeah, I don't know which one came first. Probably Loose Women actually, because you know Americans like to copy Brits, so let's keep it. Americans like to copy the Brits, so probably Loose Women came first. Do you feel the same way about trailers, Haze? Yeah, kinda. Yeah, I mean, some trailers are fine. Like if it's marked teaser trailer, they're usually okay because they're usually, you know, less than 30 seconds and they really don't show much. And they really just do what they say with teaser trailers. They just tease it a little bit, and I'm okay with that. But yeah, anytime you see things like theatrical trailer, or anything else, if the trailer's more than like say I don't know 2 minutes or something like that, I'm probably just gonna avoid it. I'm most likely just gonna avoid it because like especially if it's a film that I already know that I want to see anyway, I'm just gonna avoid a trailer because like more often than not they're just putting too much in the trailer. You know, even stuff that isn't technically a spoiler, right? But I still feel like it doesn't need to be in the trailer itself. You know, so like yeah, I avoid a lot of trailers until after I see the movie. Um, Especially if it's a film that I want to see. I'm like all the Star Wars stuff where they're coming out. I avoided all the trailers, all the most of the Marvel stuff when they were coming out, like Endgame when that was coming out. Avoided every single trailer that they released. Oh, final trailer number 1, trailer number 2, final trailer, theatrical trailer, you know, Super Bowl trailer or whatever. You know, I avoided every single one of them and just went in as blind as possible to watch Endgame, and it's just a better experience for it, you know, because you have no idea. I mean, you have some idea because you know you're thinking about stuff, but you have no real idea of what they might be doing or where they might be going, and it's just all fresh. So yeah. So they usually give me. I suppose if you can call someone getting knocked out from a head kick, I just find it kind of intriguing, like how much punishment they can take. Yeah, no, UFC's too much for me, man. Like I've seen a few of it, but bro, the way them men get hurt, reviews probably last longer than the actual. Oh, for sure, for sure, for sure. Not even a joke. Like films like 90 minutes long and a review is like hour 45, and you're talking about non-spoiler review. Like nah. Or like an episode of a TV show is like 30-40 minute episode, reviews like an hour and a half long, non-spoiler review. Nah, come on, man. When it started 6 September 1999. The view started 11th of August 1997. So that's a shocker. They usually copy our shows, like you said. Okay, you know, fair play, fair play. We copied them in this one. 2 years later, we copied them. All right, fair enough, fair enough. Credit where credit's due. So good though. I mean, I watched them. Well, I haven't really watched any of those shows for a while, but I used to watch the clips on YouTube of some of those shows, and they were quite interesting from time to time. But yeah, they copy our shows. So how they don't quite get our humor. Yes. What's interesting though is that a show that's popular in America would get shown over here, right? But a show that's popular over here would get remade for American audiences. And I don't get me wrong, I know they do show some British shows over in America. I know there's some that they just show over there, which is cool. But a lot of times, yeah, they just remake it for American audiences, and it's just like, why? But yeah, like you said, they apparently our humor doesn't travel well. We can get their jokes, they can't get ours, I guess, or something like that. Gonna do like the which we don't get is live car chases. Oh, okay. Yeah, them helicopter aerial views somebody speeding through the road with the police chasing them now. Change the classic example. They clearly just didn't get it. Yeah, they remade Men Behaving Badly. They remade. Oh, I can't even remember anymore. There's I mean, I guess the most popular one they remade was The Office. But yeah, they remade. There's a lot. Like you could probably let me say real quick before you get into this. Let me just American shows Oh, I know it's American remakes of British shows. What I want to search. Okay, here we go. A list of American television series based on a British television series. Okay. So there's a list that just comes. So it's got 32 on there. Fab. I mean, to be honest, a lot of these I ain't never heard of, but yeah. Oh, they remade Ant and Dec's Game Show Marathon. And Ant and Dec's Saturday Night Takeaway, they remade that. Okay. Antiques Roadshow. But yeah, it's quite a lot. It's like 32 shows they've remade. British Bake Off, okay, the Great British Bake Off they remade. Of course, they call it Great American Bake Off, Great American Baking Show. Holding the Baby, oh, I remember that show. It wasn't, I mean, yeah, y'all can have that one. I ain't gonna lie. House of Cards, of course, yeah. The IT Crowd, the In-Betweeners, okay, they remade the In-Betweeners. The Krypton Factor, okay. Remember, yeah. Porridge, oh, okay. They call it On the Rocks though. Spitting Image. What they call it, DC Follies. Man. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot. American version of the In-Betweeners, basically anything that made money, they'll try copy. That's uniquely British comedy. They copy the Britons. Got talent, yeah. I mean, let's go. This race. Should leave it well alone. Yeah, American version of In-Betweeners. I mean, I wouldn't say it wouldn't work. I guess you could find a way to make it work, right? You got like what's 15, 16-year-olds, I think they were at the time, like that kind of age, students. So high school kids, I guess, or older high school kids in America, you know, going through that sort of thing. I mean, you could definitely find ways to make it relatable, but I don't know. I feel like the style of humor that was In-Betweeners, yeah, you're right, is very kind of British humor. So they'd have to, well, they don't have to, but they'll most likely, I'd imagine, changed a lot of the style of jokes. Like I imagine most of the jokes were probably didn't make it through to the American one. Oh man, that's really coming the same way about their chat shows and a bit of slapstick. But yeah, I think when it comes to TV shows, in my humble opinion, I feel like TV comedy specifically, I feel like Britain, generally speaking, has funnier TV shows, funnier TV comedies. There's definitely a few American standouts, like Friends was great, you know, Fresh Prince, you know. There's definitely a few American TV shows that really kind of hit the funny hard, right? But I say generally speaking, Britain does TV comedies better than American comedies. That being said, I personally feel like American stand-up comedians are funnier than British comedians. Again, few exceptions on the British side, but I tend to prefer American stand-up comedy comedians to British comedians. And when it comes to comedy movies, I mean, that could kind of go either way. I feel like there's definitely some great British comedy movies. There's definitely some great American comedy movies. But I would say that in general, I feel like a lot of the truly great comedy movies were like 80s, 90s, you know, maybe up until about early 2000s. After that, for me, comedy movies just they just took a dive. Like they feel like they're not. I mean, they're not. It's not they're not funny. They're just not. You know, like they have like jokes that just don't really hit hard. You know what I mean? Like you go back to the Airplane days and all of that. Like you have them real hard hitting jokes, or even like, you know, American Pie was talking about the other day back when that was coming out. Like I feel like that's kind of the last era of really great comedy movies. That kind of early 2000s era. After that, it took a dive for me. It took a dive. And that goes down. It's the first couple series. Last time I laughed at something on TV. Alright, then let's get this show on the road. I'm gonna switch over to this screen. Excuse me. And hopefully you're ready on 0. I'm just getting mine ready on 0 right now. Switch legal gentleman. That kind of comedy is brilliant. Falling from the benefits face. Yeah, I watched that a little bit. What is that? Yeah, I think yeah, because that was a sketch show, wasn't it? If I remember, I think it was a sketch show. I think I watched that a little bit, but yeah, I guess I don't get too much into it at the end. But I'm gonna have to try that again still. All right, here we go. We're gonna go 3, 2, 1, play. So in 3, 2, 1, play. Oh, you know what? I just realized something. I left my. Oh, yeah. Didn't even put my headphones on. Literally did not even put my headphones on, you know. Alright. Alright, there we go. Did you do it? My favorite comedy, British comedy bottom. Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, I'd say bottom's my favorite. I'd say bottom's my favorite. I mean, New Statesman back in the day, of course. Young Ones. You know, that whole duo of I think they're called the Comedy Club, or the comic strip. I think they were called, where it was like Adrian Edmondson, Rick Mell, bunch of other dudes. Dawn French was a part of it. Dawn French and Jennifer Saunders were part of it. But yeah, a lot of the comedy that came out of that group, I'd say is amongst my favorite stuff. So yeah, Bottom's definitely up there. Absolutely Fabulous, of course, was great. You know, the Dawn and French show that they did, the sketch show that they did was great. But yeah, if I had to pick a favorite, I'll probably go with Bottom, just because like I think at the time it was on, and the mindset that I was in at the time it was on, it was just it was doing a lot for me at the time, for sure. I'm sure I've got some of the live shows they did on on VHS. Probably still got them somewhere. They did like 3 or 4 live shows, and of course they did the movie Guest House Paradiso, which was brilliant. I did like Men Behaving Badly, yes. Men Behaving Badly with the oh, I've forgotten the names right now, but yeah. What's your guys' favorite comedy show, British or American or anything? What's your favorite comedy show? I never really got into was Two Punch Log. Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, I remember that show being on. Had the dude from Hollyoaks on it, but yeah, it didn't do it for me. Yeah, there was a lot of those old school British comedies that came on in like maybe the 70s and 80s, like early mid 80s. And I mean, I don't know if they were on in the 80s or maybe they were repeats of older stuff from the 60s or 70s. I don't know, but I remember some of this old stuff that used to come on TV back in the day, and a lot of it to me just was not funny at all. I mean, maybe I just didn't get the jokes. That could be it. I would have been really young when they were on, so they, it could be I just didn't get the jokes. But I remember like a lot of stuff will come on, and it had that laugh track, and it would just annoy me because I'd be thinking like, why are they laughing? So I didn't know it was a laugh track at the time. So I'm thinking, why is everybody laughing when it's not funny? And of course, later on you realize that this is a laugh track, and that's why they have a laugh track, because it's not funny and they're trying to trick you. You're like, gimme, gimme, gimme. I don't think I've ever watched Gimme, 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 actually. I don't think I've ever watched that. But speaking of 80s, though, like, I used to watch Benny Hill's show. That was on back in the day, and the Kenny Everett show. Um, those were some of my favorite shows because they were so funny. And this is me as a little kid watching Benny Hill. Probably shouldn't be, right? or Kenny Everett's again. Probably shouldn't have been, but man, it was just so funny. I remember like it's literally one of very few times I've seen my dad laugh at a TV show or anything like that. Like I can remember that being a kid and we'll be watching it and he'd be laughing his head off. And that's like maybe one of very few times I think I've seen him laugh at a TV show. To be fair, he didn't really watch a lot of TV shows, so that was part of it, but still. Smoking in the house or trying to rob, not a good idea, Whoopi. Um, I think you might be thinking of Tommy Cooper. Benny Hill, I'm not sure how he died, but I don't think it was on stage. But Tommy Cooper died on stage, and people thought it was part of the act. So you might be thinking of that dude. But let me just double check about Benny Hill. He died of a heart attack while watching television. So we're not quite on stage, I guess, but maybe wanting to be on stage. But apparently he died of a heart attack while watching television. You're right, my bad. No, it's all good. It's all good. Imagine being in that venue when Tommy Cooper died, and you're just thinking it's all part of the act, and you're just like laughing, thinking, "Oh, he's gonna get up any moment." Private Boys, you know. Like they actually fell for that though. Why, as if that happened today, people would film it and upload it. Hmm. Oh, you know what? Speaking of filming people's deaths, there was uh bodybuilder recently. Um, Here we go. Justin Vicky. A bodybuilder called Justin Vicky. He was squatting these weights, right? How big were 450 pound weights he was squatting, and it ended up falling. It was too heavy. It ended up just like falling over and just like cracking his neck, and he died. And yeah, that was filmed. I mean, to be fair, you're kind of filming the event, not necessarily trying to film somebody's death, but you're filming the event, and then he dies, you know, trying to squat this weight. And yeah, that video got uploaded to the internet. I was like, yo, that is crazy, bro. Like, I can understand film it because, you know, you're there, you're seeing this bodybuilder, he's squatting a heavy weight. Oh, let's see if I can catch this on video. But when he dies, it's like, yo, don't upload that. Don't upload that. I need to go to like the police or whatever, or the, I don't know, the coroner or something. I don't know, but don't upload it to for bloody Twitter. But yeah, it was like posted online, and I saw it, and oh mate, it's awful, man. Like, I mean, to be fair, you can't tell from the video if he dies in the video or if he died later on. You can't tell that, to be fair, but it's still pretty horrible though. Like, it's, yeah, like the way it's just like imagine like your neck just go in and there's massive weight just like on your neck, just pulling you down. And getting robbed in the shop you want to buy something from. But yeah, man. This guy looks familiar. I'm not sure, but I feel like I've seen this dude before. Alright, here's my question for the group. What's the most horrible video you've seen online, like posted on like whether it's Twitter or Facebook or any kind of social media site? Or actually, here's a better question. What's the most horrible video you've seen posted in a place it really should not have been posted? The most horrible video you've seen posted online in a place that it should not have been posted. Certified buyers of gold. Someone I followed on Twitter retweeted a video of a rat being tied to a firework, which was then set off. He thought about how horrible it was, but why even share the bloody thing? A rat being tied to a firework? Oh, dude. Some people are just cruel for the sake of being cruel. Like, why are you trying to? I mean, look, nobody likes rats, I guess. Let's be real. Nobody really likes rats. But you know, tie one to a firework? Nah, come on, man. Oh, man, really? What's this guy doing? What's the worst you've seen? Worst I've seen? I mean, yeah, I mean that recent one is probably going to be up there. But let me see if I can think of something else. Worst I've seen. What's he doing? Not even wearing gloves. Oh, that's gotta be awkward. I'm not even sure. Like I guess I know I've seen stuff. I feel like a lot of this has come out of my mind right now. Like damn. Do you think we'll become desensitized to things? Yes and no. I mean, I think ultimately, anytime you see something horrible, you're always going to recognize that it's horrible. But yeah, I think there's a general desensitization in terms of like certain things just don't hit you in the same way as they might have used to hit you. And I guess that's kind of an inevitable thing when you see a lot going on, and even just in your normal daily lives, how much of the ills of the world do you see just going about your day that after a while you just don't even pay attention to? Like how many homeless people do you walk past? There are many things like that that you don't even pay attention to anymore. Maybe you give one a pound or whatever every now and then, or a couple of pounds every now and then, but for the most part, just kind of walking past and going about your day and not even thinking about it. And also, yeah, I do think there's a general. I feel like we'd always understand that certain things are not good and certain things are bad, but ultimately, yeah, I do think there's a general kind of desensitization that we all kind of feel and have, that life will inevitably dish out to you. Yo, little Jake's in the place. That one was going for a while though. Surely somebody knows by now. I'm not bad, thanks. How was your weekend? Yeah, I'm doing alright, man. Doing alright. Doing alright indeed. We're just talking about horrible things we've seen online. In particular, horrible videos that you've seen posted in a place that it really wasn't supposed to be posted in. I recently saw a video of a bodybuilder that died trying to lift a really heavy weight, and that was posted on Twitter. Ben was talking about a rat that got tied to a firework. How about yourself, Jakes? Have you seen any horrible videos posted online in a place that it wasn't supposed to be, or it shouldn't have been posted, I should say? Posted it in a place that it shouldn't have been posted. Well, Apple products are way overpriced. Hey, for sure. You pay a lot to be in the Apple ecosystem. Again, I'll explain it. Perfect for your upcoming YT channel though. Oh, that's right. Yeah, you can use it for editing and maybe even recording. And Haze advice and found a cheap alternative. Hey, don't worry about it. It's done now. I mean, well, unless it's not too late to take it back, get your money back or something. But yeah, it's done now. But MacBooks aren't bad. They're not bad. And the good thing about Apple Macs is that because they have such a closed ecosystem, you're less likely to run into problems like viruses and, you know, those kind of compatibility issues and, you know, stuff like that. Not that they can never happen, but you're less likely to be dealing with those. So you should still get an antivirus, by the way. You should still get an antivirus. That's still a worthwhile investment. I will post content next month. Also, we're getting close now. We're getting close. Did you see Home Office officials have drawn up secret plans to attempt to push the rollout of controversial face recognition technology into high street shops? I did not see that. Okay, we'll be like Minority Report then. Oh, it's because built-in virus protection. Okay, cool. You're right there then. You're right. Well, assuming that built-in virus protection is actually good. I'm just saying. Sometimes the built-in stuff isn't always, but yeah, hopefully you're fine. Hopefully you're fine. Next month, tomorrow, video in 3 hours time. Indeed. 3 hours and 7 minutes. Chop chop, Jacobs, chop chop. I wanted to pick your brain on how you do your intro to your channel. Yeah, sure. What did you want to know? Wait to get a few extra bits. Okay, 1 week. 1 week, 3 hours and 6 minutes. We'll be waiting, Jakes. We'll be waiting. I want to get a decent camera. Okay. Oh, mate. It's a bit close. That was a bit close. Software has been used in South Wales Police and Metropolitan Police during events like the Hill Carnival and more recently during Coronation. I think I did hear about that actually, so I guess it's not exactly new. But I guess what is new is that it's going to roll it out into shops and just have it as your regular walking around, recognizing certain faces and potential criminals and people who have like a record for thievery and stuff like that. And probably shouldn't be too concerned with the latest gadgets. Previous trials of self-related technology were unlawful and unethical. Force continues to use the technology. Yeah, I would say don't worry too much about the latest and the greatest. For your first camera, definitely stick to a budget that's affordable for you, and don't worry too much about certain things. Like, I mean, once you're looking to get your second camera, after you've been doing it for a while, you look to get your second or third camera. By then, you're going to know a lot more about cameras. You know a lot more about, you know, what type of things you're looking for and what specifics you might need. But for your first camera, get a budget, work out what you could afford that doesn't, you know, break your bank, and if you do buy something that doesn't quite have everything you need, at least you didn't spend too much money on it. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. That's the kind of budget you want to go for. Not so low that you're just buying nonsense, but not so high that you could end up buying the wrong thing and it costs you too much to keep. So, but yeah, I mean, high definition is going to be pretty much a given. Don't worry too much if it's got a built-in microphone, because you're going to want to get your own microphone anyway. The microphones in cameras are typically rubbish. Even on the high-end cameras, the microphones are typically rubbish, so you're going to want to get your own microphone anyway. But I say, if you've got a mobile phone, if you've got a decent mobile phone, you could probably start off with that and just work from there. You could probably get tax breaks. Oh yeah, for sure. Actually, you can. You'd have to register as self-employed for that, which you can do pretty easily. But yeah, if you're doing it as either you're not necessarily even full time, but even if you're just doing it as a potential to make money at some point, whether now or later, then yeah, you can claim it as a business. But yeah, you just need to register as self-employed, and just keep track of anything you buy, keep the receipts, keep the invoices, all of that, keep track. You can do that yourself. You can get an accountant, but that's probably not too necessary at this point, you know. But yeah, you can keep track of your expenditure, like what you're buying, what you're spending, but yeah, there's certain things you can claim as, like for example, the camera would be tax deductible, which means that you don't pay tax on the camera. Oh, that doesn't make any sense. Never mind. But it just means I'm not explaining it properly, but it works out better, or works out that you're not spending as much as you. I'm not explaining it well. Sorry, I'm messing it up. But hopefully you know what I meant. I think Ben knows what I mean. Jacob, I'm not. Maybe you don't. I don't know. Depending on how much you already know about tax, you probably either have no clue what I'm talking about. But I think Ben knows what I mean, because Ben, I think, does tax and stuff. You know what I mean? Cool. Is it spies, I believe. Oh, like the camera stuff? Possibly. I mean, I think one of the problems with face recognition technology in general, and you see this on like you know, when you see like the TikTok filters and stuff like that, is that when they're designed, you know, they're designed typically with, you know, certain features in mind, and of course not everybody has those features, and depending on who's designing it often determines what types of features they're inputting. So you might find that certain filters don't work so well on darker skinned people, or maybe don't work so well on lighter skinned people, or maybe they don't work so well with people with maybe larger noses and things like that. So yeah, there is potential for a bias, but that would depend on who's designing it and how much information and data they can put into this thing. Graphic design. Not necessarily. I mean, unless your channel is about graphic design, then yeah, you probably should learn about it in that case. But if if your channel is not about graphic design and you're just looking for some cool graphics, you can go on Fiverr and find someone who can do it for you for a pretty decent price. Apple 13 Pro. It's very decent. Oh, like that. I'm gonna save the receipts. Yeah, definitely. Keep digital copies of your receipts. Because a lot of receipts are sent through email, so make sure you save them in a folder or something like that. Oh, nice. 2 weeks. This film's called Burglar. Stop Thief was just what I added in there, just because I was trying to be clever, really. But the film's called Burglar. It's from 1987, and it stars Whoopi Goldberg. And yeah, so far so okay. So let me try and explain what I meant about the taxes. So you pay tax on your profit margin, right? So any expenditures you have, you take off of the money you make, and you only pay tax on your profit. So for example, if you make £1,000, right? And that camera costs you, I don't know, £300, right? That means you pay tax on the £700 because that's your profit. Yeah. So you take off your expenditure. So if you take all the money that comes in, right, that's your income, and then you take off all the money that goes out, your expenditure, so your camera, your computer, and any other equipment you might have to get. That's John Goodman, awesome. But you take off your expenditure, and then what's left is your profit, and that's what you pay tax on. Now, in the beginning, your profit is likely to be in the minus numbers, right? Because you're not going to be making money from YouTube right away, unless you get real lucky. I don't know, maybe. But you're probably not going to be making money right away. So your profit is going to be minus figures, and then it's only once you've been doing it for a while, you establish blah blah blah, then your profit might start moving up into the plus numbers, and depending on how much of a profit you make will determine on how much tax you pay on that. So effectively, the less profit you make, the less tax you pay. But one thing to be mindful of, especially if you have a job as well as doing the YouTube and being self-employed, is that even though your employer would do their tax on your employment, you still need to pay a total tax for your employment and your self-employed stuff, which means you need to be checking your P45 or P60. I don't remember what the number is, but your P, whatever they give you at the end of each tax year, that your employer gives you at the end of each tax year, you need to be checking that, because most likely you're going to be overpaying your tax in that, and you'll need to claim some of it back. I'm going to see that up and out. So, oh, nice. Make sure you go pee first, though, because it's a long movie. Don't be trying to watch that movie with a full bladder. No, it might not be a good idea. Less profit you make, less tax you pay. Got it, yeah. You need to watch from 1988. That's John Goodman and Denzel Washington. Also James Gandolfini. Oh yeah, and Donald Sutherland. Oh, legendary actors. P45 and the P60. Yeah, so when they give you at the end of each tax year, your employer is supposed to give you a form at the end of each tax year, which lets you know how much tax you paid, and you need to check that against things like how much tax you should have paid. In fact, you'll be able to do that once you start filling out your self-assessment, because you need to do that each year as well for that self-assessment form. The self-assessment form can be very daunting when you look at it the first time, but honestly, it's not as complicated as it looks. But yeah, because I've done it a few times now. It looks mad when you open it up, but especially if you're doing it online, it's not as daunting as it looks, and there is a lot of information about what things mean and stuff like that. So that's a serious cost. My fan goes out indeed. They come for her. But yeah, so the less profit you make, the less tax you pay, which is one of the reasons why a lot of businesses, a lot of people like to claim certain things as business costs. Oh yeah, I needed a yacht. It was a bit for a business expenditure, you know, things like that. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why you hear about that kind of thing. And as tempting as it is to just claim everything as a business cost so you pay less tax, it's also not necessarily a good idea just to claim too much, because you don't want to make yourself look too poor when it comes to do things like, you know, applying for a mortgage or any other things like that. So it has its pros and cons. It has its pros and cons. Like with a qualified accountant, so okay. Oh, awesome, awesome. Is he gonna charge you though? Man, might start saying, look, hey man, if I'm gonna be helping you out, I'm gonna need some. You know what I'm saying? Jake's there like, man, I thought we were friends. Like, yeah. Hey, that's a guy from. He was in Police Academy, wasn't he? Better not charge me. He's my boy. Wow. Wow. Money and friends. Eesh. Just say it, man. Money and friends, money and family. Oof. But Phil, though, I mean, if you are doing it like long term, especially if you do start making money on it, it is a good idea to have an accountant on the books. All right, but speaking of having an accountant on the books, I'm gonna take a quick little break because I need to take a quick little break right now. So I'm gonna pause this movie. So if you wanna stay in the same spot as me, get ready to pause. We're gonna go 3, 2, 1, pause, and then 3, 2, 1, pause. All right, so I'll be back in about 5-ish minutes, and then we'll continue from there. All right, see you guys in a little bit. Oh wait, I really want to give my content creator a real big effort. Oh, but no, go for it. I mean, look, at the end of the day, it's like you got nothing to lose. You know what I mean? You got nothing to lose. Like, you're doing something. Hopefully, you enjoy doing it. And if you don't enjoy doing it, you can stop. You know what I mean? You can stop. So yeah, you got nothing to lose. So yeah, you know, go for it. Put it in. Make it as good as you can get it. Try not to pursue perfection, because perfection is the death of progress. Um, But yeah, just go for it, and hopefully it works out. But if it doesn't, you could just stop. You know what I mean? You could just stop. It's no big deal. But yeah, back in a little bit, and just might tell you some more stories about family and money. Thanks for sticking around for those stuck around. Thanks for joining for those who joined. What up, Brax? Brax Bivin, a place to bivvy. Alright then. Let's get this show restarted. We're gonna go 3, 2, 1, play. And then 3, 2, 1, play. Alright, let me try and catch up with the chat a little bit. See what I missed. What's going on? Is this playing? Why is it not playing? Oof. Okay, technical difficulties. There we go. Now we're playing. Oof. Did you watch the Errol Spence weekend? Alright. So I'll post it to which user in Texas. I had a lot of eyeballs on it. Next mistake. Back some pan in to become on the page. That's the chat when they used to not really follow us the Harry Keys or this point. That's also but also cracks up here when your mom's doing well. Yeah. Brax, are you still planning on doing the content creation in this? So, what ideas you got on the types of channel you want to do? Jeez, alright, awesome. So the studio with Spurs right now. I'm gonna care. Yes. Any saves or goals. Hey, isn't Spurs your team though, Jakes? Joe Lewis. Yeah, unfortunately Spurs are my team, but I'm happy how they're being run right now. Oh, see. Maybe need to apply for the job, Spurs manager. Actually, Jakes, speaking of the content though, what type of content were you gonna make? I'm not sure, did you say it already? So if you said it already, I forgot, my bad. This guy's gonna break his own phone. The manager doesn't That can inspire confidence. They need your leadership, man. That could be your YouTube channel, actually. Running Spurs. Like, right, you're vlogging your journey to becoming Spurs manager and eventually Spurs chairman. And you can like vlog your journey along the way, and from the letters you have to write to them, to showing up, to proving why the current manager isn't doing what they should be doing and how you could be doing better. It's not what you steal, it's who you steal it from. Wow. Interesting. Interesting. And the food reviews. Oh right, you know, yes, I remember now. You did say, yeah. My bad. Food reviews, movie reviews, book reviews. Yeah. Do you have a name for the channel? Yeah. How about Little Jake's Awesome Place? Or if you want to go with your real name, Paul Smith's House of Bliss. Huh? So being with a title. Alright. I get awesome. Hey. Feel free to use it. Or I mean, or not, you know. Yeah, still thinking about it. Wow. Looks like Jake's about to start his channel in the next maybe few weeks, so Brax, you might want to stop thinking, start doing. Paul Smith's House of Bliss, I like it. Awesome. Yo, what up, Frederick? But yeah, food reviews could be a good one to go with, and book reviews, and just like talking about cool stuff that you like to do. And I think the thing is that everybody does like movie reviews and game reviews, right? And that's not to say that you shouldn't do it, but it is definitely a oversaturated part of YouTube, like the movie and game reviews. Whereas book reviews, I mean, there's still a lot of book review channels, of course, but you know, there's kind of less saturation and more room, which means there's more room to kind of stand out. And yeah, you said I'll stay shouting for 7. I say you stay looking fresh for 7. Hey gosh, you give me some movie recommendations. Yeah, I could do that. What types of movies you looking to watch? If you give me like a genre, and I'll try and recommend things within that genre. I also have a fetish. Paul Smith is a fashion designer, Frederick. I don't know if he has a foot fetish, but I believe he does make shoes, so maybe. Standard, you know. Never have the money, devices, to have time to. Alright, alright. Horror psychological thrillers. Oof, okay, that's a good one. Well, let's see, psychological thrillers. I would recommend is one. Okay, there's one. Fallen, or That Fallen. How about Meat, please? Meat what? Watch Fallen. None of the cast. Horrors, I think, like, I'm probably just gonna go obvious stuff like Halloween, but I'm sure you've seen that already, and The Grudge and The Ring. You know, I think you've probably seen those ones already. Psychological thrillers, I'm probably a bit obvious there as well, like Shutter Island. I think you've probably seen that already. My earlier question. What was your earlier question? Sorry, I might have missed it. It's been 14 days of catch up on movies. Shutter Island is a classic. Oh, for sure, for sure. Alright, so for those of you who've seen Shutter Island, actually, you know, let me not do that, because if you haven't seen it, it's going to be a major spoiler. So let me not say nothing. Let me not say nothing. Let me not say nothing, because there'll be a major spoiler for those who haven't seen it. Unless we've all seen Shutter Island. Has everybody here seen Shutter Island? If you've all seen it, I'll say it. If not, then I won't. Guys, be right back. I want to give too much away, but it's a clever film that leaves you guessing. Have you seen Fallen? I've not seen Fallen, no. That was what you mentioned earlier, wasn't it? 1998. But that was a bomb of that cast that he was mentioning. Was it, yeah, Denzel and John Goodman, Donald Sutherland. The Cats. I've not seen Shutter Island. Savage to avoid spoiler by leaving this room. Oh no, that's so good. I'm gonna do that. I won't say nothing. I won't say nothing. Scream 6 spoiler from some recently. Oof. Scream 6 is a decent movie. It's worth watching. I mean, I think I liked it probably. Well, I think I liked the ending probably more than Sam did. But then, yeah, certainly understand why the ending was a little frustrating. I ain't gonna lie. But let me not say too much, because I don't want to accidentally spoil nothing, or accidentally spoil anything too more than already been. Do you like meat? Or do I like meat? Yeah, sure. I like meat. Well, depends on which meat, but yeah. Hey, speaking of Sam, boy, how uncanny is that? How you doing, Sam? Sam B in a place to be. We were ringing for sure. Oh, right, excuse me. How's your day going? How's your day been? Appreciate you joining this live stream. Sam's in the house. Whoop whoop. This guy's mad. Do you like meats, Frederick? Or are you a vegetarian? Vegan, maybe? How are you doing? You had a good weekend? Yeah. Yeah, but I was playing Sims. Nah, so good. So good. As long as you're doing something productive, I don't mind people coming in coming into the stream late. It's so good. As long as you're doing something productive, like playing video games or watching a movie, you know. If you're doing like some waste of time stuff, like like kind of cooking for the family or whatever, like stuff like that, I'd be like, then I'd be upset. As long as you're doing something productive, we good. No, screw it. You can go hungry. Exactly. That film's saying naughty words. Which naughty words is that, Fred? You have to be more specific. Oh, speaking of naughty words, actually, I got an email. I got 2 emails actually from YouTube about a couple of videos that I posted years ago. Like, these are old videos, and they were telling me that they've age restricted my videos because of like the content inside them, because content in the videos. And so I didn't get a strike because they weren't like community guideline issues, but they just felt like the content of the videos was not suitable for anybody under the age of 18, and because of that they age restricted these videos. And I'm thinking to myself, man, these videos are so long ago, I don't remember what I put in those videos. But then I watched them and I was like, yeah, fair enough. I can see why you HK that. I can't lie. I can't lie. I could see why you HK it. I mean, to be honest, I feel like it's maybe not necessary to, but I could see it. I can't be too mad at that one. I can't be too mad. kids to see the book. Oh right, yeah. How was that? No spoilers though, because I still do want to see it. Get manually checked. There we go. I don't know if it was reported. I think they. I mean, I do. I don't know if it was. Well, I don't think it was reported. I assume it was just kind of checked somewhere, and I don't. It's kind of weird though because one of the videos literally had like one view on it. Like it was an old video from like 3 years ago, and only one person watched it, which was probably me. I don't think nobody else watched it. So yeah, I don't know who managed to find this obscure video that I made. I mean, to be honest, I saw the video and I kind of felt to myself, you know what, this don't need to stay on the channel. It's kind of a weird video. It's kind of a weird video, and I just thought, you know what, I'm good. Let me just private this. Yeah. I mean, it's nothing like. Well, I mean, Fred might think it's naughty, but it's just a weird video that I thought, you know what, it's good. Let me just private this. 3 years ago, nobody watched it, and it's kind of a weird video. So I was like, yeah, we good. Kenobi. It was more enjoyable than I thought it was going to be. Oh, nice. I show him how to rub his feet. Fred, you have a problem. I'm just going to come out and say it. You actually have a problem. I mean, it's one thing to have a foot fetish, but mate, you actually have a problem. Like, you might need, like, professional help or something, man. Like a psychologist or... What was the video about? Let me see. So it was a gameplay video. So this is back when I was doing more gameplay videos, like offline gameplay. I mean, wasn't live streamed. And it was a game called How Do You Do It, which I came across because it was. I think I've read an article or something, or I saw it somewhere that it's the weirdest game on Steam. And it is a pretty weird game, but I think the bit why they age restricted it is because there's a bit where this girl is playing with these two toys, like a man and a woman toy, right? And both toys are naked, and she's kind of doing like this with them. And I think that's what they took issue with. Because I mean, I never really say in the emails they send you specifically what the problem is, right? They just tell you, oh yeah, it's age, blah blah blah, but they don't actually tell you exactly what it is. But when I watched the video, I was kind of like, yeah, I get it. I get it. Maybe a little bit harsh, but I get it. Why that's I don't understand. Okay, you see it again eventually. Yeah, you showed up the. Yeah, Frederick, you might need a professional psychologist. Well, I don't know. Maybe this is normal in the foot fetish communities. I guess I wouldn't really know. she matrix that jump. I don't know. Is it? You tell me. Yo, what up, Frozen Gamer? FG, the place to be. How you doing, man? How's your day going? Yeah, I did see Pee Wee Herman. Or the Paul. I blank on his name, but yeah. Yeah, he passed away. And it's too because the kids want to see it. It was Gotham. That was in 2018. Yeah, don't think I've seen many, if any, of this stuff, to be honest. But I know of the actor just because I guess the Pee Wee Herman character is really popular, and so you see that image around a lot. But dude was like 70 years old, man. Who wants to see the Haunted Mansion next? Haunted Mansion, Haunted Mansion. Ain't that the one with like Eddie Murphy or something? Oh, they knew that dog was gonna be there. Well, yeah. Please, it should say. It's a new one. It's a kids movie. Okay. Margot Robbie's okay, I guess. I mean, I've seen her in a few things. She was in Harley Quinn, which is Harley played Harley Quinn. Was she in Wolf of Wall Street as well? And I guess she's done a few other things, but yeah, this is fine. Yeah, she was in Neighbours. How many big stars has Neighbours produced, though? How many big stars? How many of the world's big stars has got their start in Neighbours? Not really much around that period. Yeah, yeah. I think she came in long after I stopped watching myself, actually. Goes sounds really good in the body movie, I have to say. Yeah, he sings and everything, doesn't he? I'm just Ken. Anywhere else I'd be a 10. they suspect him Ray hard, aren't they? Neighbor, she talked too much. You see it again. She has. Oh, Frederick. If Margot Robbie was my neighbor, I would not be telling her that. Okay, just so you know, I would not be telling her that. I'm not gonna lie to you and be like, oh yeah, I'll tell her. No, I'm not gonna tell her that. Bruh. My nachos, cheese sauce, and jalapenos though. Okay, is that? I guess that's a thing in the movie, but okay. It was in the Notebook, yeah. Yes. Was he not? Yeah, he was. Yeah, that's right. He was in the Notebook with Rachel McAdams. Never watched The Notebook. Oh my god, if I was in person, that's how I watched it until I did. What was my... Oh, okay, cool. Well, jalapenos and cheese sauce. Yeah, gotcha. You know what? The Notebook is one of these movies that I would call a must-see movie. And not necessarily because it's that good. It's a decent film. It's just a film I think everybody should see because, like, at some point in your life, somebody's going to make a reference to The Notebook, and it just helps if you've seen the film. You know what I mean? Like, it just helps if you've seen it, so you know. Okay, cool. It's a decent enough film. It's fine. It's not, in my opinion, amazing or brilliant or anything like that. It's good, right? You know, it's not a rubbish film. Certainly, it's good. It's fine. But yeah, I'll still call it a must-see film just because it's just that popular. Just you should see that film. And hey, maybe you really like it as well, which is even better. So. My kind of movie. I agree. I felt the same sound. I gave it a watch. I'm glad I did, to be honest. Yeah, I watched it on a recommendation. A friend of mine recommended it. I think lent it to me actually. I think he actually lent me the DVD. So I watched it from that. And it was kind of like, all right, you know, yeah. A lack of gore and horror, so you do not think it's need to watch it, Sam. So I think I'll give it a pass. Alright. They have to wait until they make the horror version of The Notebook. Maybe someone watch that. Actually, you know what? The horror version of the Notebook could be a pretty cool thing. Story film about a couple who grow old. I've seen it. The movie I think is a must see is still Alice. That's how that movie made me cry. It really did. Well, Still Alice is called, or just Alice? Oh, Still Alice, not 2014. Okay. It is actually. It's on Amazon Prime. Yeah. We're not in LA. Oh, excuse me. It's not a woman with dementia. Oh, okay. Oh, I think I get it. So after that, she's still Alice. She might have forgotten who she is, but she's still Alice. I think I get that. What's your favorite film, Frederick? That dementia, so I think that's the hard watch for me. I need to be in the right frame of mind for it. So films too. So Frederick, let me ask you something, if I may. What kind of keyboards do you use to type? Was that Susan Sarandon? It was like a young Susan Sarandon. I don't think it is though. But yeah, Frederick, what kind of keyboards do you use? Like, do you use like a regular keyboard? Is it a special kind of keyboard? Does it have any kind of special features on it? It's a black keyboard, okay. But is it like a special type? Like, does it do anything different to normal keyboards? You say something about a story about money and family or something. I did off for break. When you did, what if I missed it? Nah, sorry, I haven't said nothing yet. Yeah, because we were just talking about, you know, when Jacob was talking about like friends and money, and just saying, yeah, you kind of get an understanding of certain family members when money's involved. you know, like when my dad passed, even before the will was read, we had some family members calling up, asking about, you know, the house and how much money they're going to get from it and that kind of thing. And I was like, mate, like, Dad's been dead for, I don't know, a week, 2 weeks, I don't know how long, it wasn't long, and you're already calling up to ask about this stuff. So yeah, people move different when there's money involved, is what I'm saying. So yeah, that's all good. It's time ago now. It's all in the past. But yeah, it's one of those things that let you know certain people need to get the side eye. You know what I mean? Certain people just need to get the side eye. I was all right. I see how you move now. I see how you move now. He certainly brings the Nazi side to some people. Oh, indeed, man. You can't come to where the masterverse but that's not alright. I mean, to be honest, let's just say, really wasn't really in much contact with them anyway. The kind of distant relatives, which, well, not exactly true, but they're distance in terms of physical distance. You know, like they live in Nigeria and they, you know, we're over here, so I don't know them well like that. But I mean, I wouldn't say I've cut them out. End of the day, family's family. Whether you get along or not, whether you like them or not, whether they like you or not, whether they do dumb things or, you know, family's family, and you can't change that. So I wouldn't say I've cut them out, but at the same time, you know, you just know how people move. You know what I mean? You just know what they're about and what's important to them, and once you know that, you can be like, all right, cool. I know what to. You know what I mean? It's like, what's that movie? Jackie Brown, when he says something like, you can't trust Sally, but you could always trust Sally to be Sally. It's kind of like that with me. It's just kind of like that with me. It's gonna sit down that behavior. Well, I know with family it can be hard to do so. Don't say naughty words again. Fred, name me a film that is a really good movie that doesn't have any naughty words in it. Oh, she onto him. Excuse me. Peter Pan. Oh, okay. Do we agree with that? Is Peter Pan a good movie that doesn't have any naughty words in it? To be fair, Peter Pan is about the boy who never grew up, right? So this is effectively a dude who's like 40, 50 years old, hanging around with children. Might not have naughty words in it, but that's a pretty creepy concept. Just saying. Just saying. When you hear those theories about how Hollywood is trying to normalize pedophilia, and then a movie like Peter Pan exists, you're like, maybe they got a point. Also taking them away from their parents. Is that what happens to Peter Pan? I haven't seen it for a long time. I don't remember a lot from it, to be honest. But okay, even worse then. Even worse. Yeah, being a mistake getting a Holly into Buffy. She is obsessed. Oh really? How far was it? Was it first season you watched already? Have you done second season now, or where are you up to? He took Wendy and the other kids away from their parents. Oh, okay, I'm completely forgetting it. No, that's probably about right. Yeah, Peter Pan might not use swear words, but he's not a good person. Sorry, Fred, but your heroes are not a nice guy. Peter Pan is a weirdo. Taking kids away from their parents. Old guy hanging around with children, taking them away from their parents. Nah, he's a weirdo. We're reaching the end of season 3. Okay, you're quite far into it then. That's like halfway through practically. Like Cinderella 2. Ready, Fred. Jesus, that shit. It smells cheesy. Fine for now. Cinderella was the one that her sister. She was like the sisters like bullied her, and then the witch gave her a wish, but the spell ran out at midnight, and the prince found her shoe, and then went looking for her. And then if the shoe fit, then he was going to marry the person. The thing is though, Cinderella has zero agency though. Like, how are you going to just marry somebody because they said so? Like, you're not going to ask. It's like, oh, you had one dance with somebody, you lost your shoe, and you're like, yeah, I will marry the person whose foot fits this shoe. And you're just going to marry that person. Like, that's weird. That's weird. I'm just saying, Cinderella has absolutely no agency. Just falls in line. First she gets picked on by her sisters and does what they say, and her stepmother or whatever does what she says. And then just marries a guy just because he's all like, oh yeah, your foot fits this shoe. But like, when does Cinderella get to do what Cinderella wants to do? You know what I mean? When does Cinderella get to live her life? She goes from being abused by her family to being the property of this prince, and the prince is supposed to be this what, Prince Charming? No, he's not charming. He's not charming. He's a creep. Like, the only requirement he had for a woman is that her foot fits a shoe. Like, think about that. You're gonna spend the rest of your life with somebody, and the only requirement you have is that their foot fits the shoe. Nah, that is not a nice person at all. Sorry, Fred, but your heroes are trash. Your heroes are trash. Peter Pan is a creepy weirdo, and Cinderella just has no agency of her own. You're eating a cicada. I like Beauty and the Beast though. Belle was beautiful but didn't use her looks. She used her intelligence. She saw through the Beast's ugliness and saw him from within. Beauty and the Beast I don't remember too well, but yeah. Because that's the one where she falls in love with the Beast. But it wasn't about, oh yeah, I need like a 10 out of 10. She liked the guy underneath, you know, his personality. Beauty and the Beast gives hope to all us ugly guys. Like, oh yeah, you know, maybe if you're nice to people, that's what Beauty and the Beast does. Lets you know that if you're nice to people, if you're a good person, you might just meet somebody who sees that, rather than chasing aesthetics. No, maybe I don't. It's this. I don't say this is definitely the worst, but I feel like one of the amongst the worst fairy tales is Sleeping Beauty, right? Because that's the one where this witch casts a spell on this lady. She falls asleep for like 100 years or whatever, and then some prince comes galloping along through the woods, sees her asleep, lying in the forest, and just kisses her. Like, think about how creepy that is. Like, you found a woman in the forest and was like, all right, I'm gonna have my way with her. And then she wakes up and marries him. Like, nah, that's weird and creepy. Like, bruh, you married your assailant. Like, that's clearly written by some incel. You know what I mean? That was written by some incel. I was like, yeah, this is how it needs to be. You should be able to just like find women in the street and just kiss them and they'll marry you. Alright, well that was Burglar. I believe this was recommended by Braxton Spivey. Burglar starring Whoopi Goldberg. You know, I gotta be honest, I'm not sure I caught all of this movie. Like, I feel like I wasn't able to pay it. I mean, granted, when I watch movies and do the stream, I know my attention's kind of split, but I feel like usually I can basically get what's going on. This one, I'm not entirely sure that I did, so I might need to watch this one offline at some point. But from what I can get is that she's a thief. She was asked to steal some jewels and then ended up witnessing a murder. And then as she's being blamed for the murder, she's trying to investigate it herself and then uncovers all the secrets that were underneath from the conspiracies that people had in order to set her up when they were all involved in it to begin with. That's basically what I got from the story, which I don't know, maybe that's wrong, maybe that's right, maybe there's more to it. I'm sure there's more to it, but it was alright, I guess. I mean, from my basic half view in it, it seemed alright. So yeah, maybe this is one to watch again at some point, but you know, we'll see. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it if you were watching it along, and if not, then oh well, it's not my movie, so whatever. Beauty and the Beast is probably outdated by today's standards, but Belle was a better role model than Cinderella or Snow White. Yeah, Snow White was, what did Snow White do? She, oh, that's Seven Dwarfs, wasn't it? Right. So she was why did she go? No, she was, I think she was cast away from her. Was she cast out? Was that right? No, there was a witch involved with Snow White. And then she went to the Seven Dwarfs, and they all started working for her or something. No. They went out to work, and she was cooking and cleaning for them. And then the witch came to their house and poisoned her with the apple. And I don't remember how she got unpoisoned. There was probably some rapey prince as well, I'm sure. But yeah. But I think a lot of the fairy tales are just mad creepy when you actually look at them. Like, I'm trying to find, was it Snow White? This is what Wikipedia says about Snow White. Plot. Having lost both her parents at a young age, Snow White is... Oh, let me come over here, right? Neck curtain. Ish. Now. Having lost both her parents at a young age, Snow White is a princess living with her wicked and cold-hearted stepmother, the Queen. Fearing that Snow White's beauty will outshine her own, the Queen forces her to work as a scullery maid and asks her magic mirror. Oh yeah, mirror on the wall, yeah. Lady who is the first of them all for years, the mirror was on to the Queen, and the Queen is pleasing her. One day Snow White meets and falls in love with a prince who overhears her singing. On that same day, the magic mirror informs the Queen. Tells me that Snow White is now the fairest in all the land. Angered, the Queen orders her huntsman to take Snow White into the forest, kill her, and bring back her heart in a jeweled box. The huntsman cannot bring themselves to kill Snow White. and reveals to the queen, reveals her the queen's plot. He then urges her to flee into the woods and never return. Okay, I remember the story now. I'm not going to read this whole thing, that's kind of long. I was never all into them anyway, and don't care for all the remakes. Oh right, you're talking about the movies. Okay, yeah. Yeah, a lot of these fairy tales go back years. Like their origins go back hundreds of years. I think Walt Disney at one point decided to just make a whole bunch of movies based on these old folk tales. So like by now we're kind of associated with the Disney company, but yeah, a lot of them go back hundreds of years. I'm sure the original story is not what we're hearing. My guess is the original stories were far more rapey. You know, probably. That wouldn't surprise me. Oh, speaking of that though, well, not quite that, but still. Did you see the clip going around of Cardi B? So you know how like recently there's been all these people who go to these concerts and throw things at like the person on stage, right? You know, throwing their phones or whatever. Well, somebody threw some water at Cardi B during one of her performances, and she retaliated by throwing the mic right back, her microphone right back at them. Um, and you know what? I ain't mad at it. I am mad at it because at the end of the day, you should not be throwing things at people like that. You know, you should not be throwing things at people. That is not cool. So I ain't mad at it. It was like, you know what? You threw this at me, I'm gonna throw this at you. Can't believe it's August in a few hours. This year seems to have blown by more than halfway through the year, bruh. More than halfway through the year. Even though he likes horror, she watches the trailers because I won't let her watch the movies. Oh, she's still too young, huh? Yeah, probably for the best. Let her mind stay untainted for as long as possible. She hit the wrong place. Oh, that sucks. That sucks. If she hit the wrong person, that sucks. But even still, don't be throwing stuff at people. And if you do throw stuff at people, well, duck, I guess. Just duck. Yeah, if she hit the wrong person, that absolutely sucks. Because there must be some guy thinking, man, it wasn't me. It was this guy. Oh, man, my. I literally googled Doja Cat the other day because everyone was talking about her, and I don't know who she was. Oh yeah, Doja. I know Doja. Well, I don't know her, but yeah, I know Doja. I like Doja Cat. I like Doja Cat. I like her. She's got a few albums out, 3 albums out. I'm working on a 4th one coming soon, I think. But yeah, I like Doja Cat. She's sick. What's going on with people throwing things? Why would they do that? Did you see some guy around stage with stats? AverMax in the face? No, I didn't see that. I asked you who AverMax is, by the way, but no, I didn't see that. But yeah, it's kind of weird because it happened to BB Rexa, it happened to was it Harry Styles, it happened to like a bunch of people. People just throwing stuff at these artists on stage. It's like, nah, what are you doing, man? It's not cool. It's not cool. But I'm going to tell you a story about Doja Cat actually. And I'm pretty sure I've told this story before, but whatever, I'm going to tell it again because why not? Why not? One sec though, let me just make sure that oh wait, yeah, cool, we're on the right one. what I could gather, people were she unhappy because of how she is with her fans, and I just thought good for her. Yeah, no, she made yeah, some comments that I 100% agree with. She basically just said, you know, we're not friends. And I feel like there's nothing wrong with saying that, because at the end of the day, she's an artist. You can like her music, you know, all of that. That's fine, right? But you can't be acting like you know her, or that, you know, you get to be in her life like that, you know. And she's basically drawing a line. At least the way I saw it, she's basically drawing a line between the artist and the fan. And I feel like you got to do that, because I think one of the dangers of the way, especially with like social media right now, sometimes you can get too close, and you could feel like you're a part of it when you're not, you know. And there's a danger in that when, you know, you feel like somebody knows you, or you know them, when you don't. You just know a public persona of them, you know. So yeah, for me, I just felt like she was drawing a line between artist and fan. And I get that it sounds blunt. I get it's not what everybody wants to hear, but at the end of the day, it's the truth. Like, there needs to be that separation between the artist and the fan. And if the artist feels like the fans are getting a bit too close, they've got to protect themselves, because it's not healthy for them either. It's not healthy for the artist. It's not healthy for the fan. It's not healthy for anybody. And if you feel like you've got to just protect yourself, protect whether your your mental health or whatever, or just your own kind of sanctity, then you just got to be clear on where that line is drawn. So people being disgusted to her because being disgusted to her because her boyfriend is white. That's lame. I don't know who her boyfriend is. Actually, no, I do know who her boyfriend is. He's not white. He's not white. If somebody tells you her boyfriend's white, it's not. You know who her boyfriend is? Me. So here's the thing. Let me tell you the story before that just sounds weird and creepy, because it already does. So I'm driving my cab, right? And I stopped to pick up this lady. I guess it's an older lady. Anyway, doesn't really know you. She's cool with it. She's cool with it. So I stopped to pick up this lady, and I've got this album. It's called Hot Pink by Doja Cat playing. So this is the image that's on my phone. This image right here is on my phone. Doja Cat, Hot Pink, the album's playing. That image is on my phone. The lady gets into my cab and she sees it. And the first thing she says is, "Wow, your girlfriend is really beautiful." Right? That's what she said. And I did not correct her. I did not correct her. I was like, let her think that. Now imagine she went to like she went to her grandkids. Maybe her grandkids was like playing this album, and she was like, "Oh, I know this lady. I saw her boyfriend." Yeah. But yeah, no, big up Doja Cat. I do like her music. I like her music. She's a great artist in my opinion. And yeah, for taking that stance of you know, drawing a line between artist and fan. Yeah, I think you got to do that. You got to do that. So yeah, big up Doja. Looking forward to her new album coming out. But yeah. Imagine though, some kid goes to school the next day. Yeah, my grandmother met Doja Cat's boyfriend. Shit. Right. It's how rumors get started, man. It's how rumors get started. Never probably believe it. Right. Right. The race of her boyfriend. That's when they are boys and everything like that. Yeah, and that's not cool. I mean, I don't know who her boyfriend is. For myself, I've never looked into it, and I don't particularly care. But yeah, whether he's white, whatever, that's it's none of nobody's business. In the day, it's none of nobody's business. Like, if she likes him, he likes her. He's good to her. She's good to him. Then it's none of nobody's business. Do you like the music? Yep, cool. Don't worry about who she's dating then. Do you know what I mean? It ain't you, so it ain't none of your business. But yeah, like, people are dumb like that. People are dumb like that. The thing I don't get, man, why people are so infatuated in the lives of celebs. Yeah, I mean, I guess I could understand, especially if you're a younger person. I guess I could understand, you know, being a bit more into the celebrity kind of thing, because I think we've all kind of been there when we were kids. But some of these like go into like not like, you know what I mean, like late teens, 20s, sometimes even older. And it's like, come on now, like, surely you are not that heavily invested in a celebrity's life at this point. Like, because even when you're a kid, when, like, I don't know, you're, you know, 13, 14 years old, and you're a massive Take That fan or whatever, and you got all their posters, and you know what I mean, and you know, you got all their posters and their CDs and all this stuff, and you want to go to their concerts and get stuff signed, and you know, I get that age is kind of the thing that happens at that age, right? But even then, there's a line drawn. You know what I mean? Like, there's a line drawn. But it just seems now more and more these days that that line is so blurry. Don't forget the sticker. Oh yeah, of course, sticker albums. Collecting them, swapping with your friends and all that. But it just seems like these days that line is more and more blurred, where you know, people just feel, and I guess, you know, that's the good and bad thing on social media. Like, the good side of it is that, you know, you can be closer to people, right? But the bad side of it is that you can be closer to people, and I guess, you know, with people growing up in that world, nobody's kind of talking about where is this line drawn, like, because clearly that line has moved from where it was in the 90s. You know, that line has moved from the 80s to the 90s. So now we're in 2023. Where is that line drawn? It's not drawn in the same place anymore, you know. So yeah, I think anytime an artist just takes a stance and says, hey, look, I need you to back off, you know, I get it's not what people want to hear. I get that it can come across as blunt and whatever. But at the end of the day, it's like, if you respect a person as an artist, then you have to respect their wishes, that, you know what, right now, this is not where I need to be. I was watching an interview with J. Cole, actually. It was well, part of an interview. It was like a clip from an interview. And he was talking about just having to take himself out of social media just because he just felt like it just wasn't right for him. You know, I can respect that. You know, where you just being a part of something and then you just think to yourself, you know what, this is not where I need to be. It's too much. You know, when you see in real time what everybody thinks about you, it gets too much. He's like, you know what, I need to take myself out of that. And I think a lot of artists, well, I mean, a lot, but say quite a few artists, you know, feel something similar, where it's like, I just don't want to do this. And ain't nothing wrong with that. Do you think it's all because of social media? Not necessarily. I think ultimately a lot of this stuff is there before social media just kind of emphasizes it. So I don't think it's necessarily because of social media. It just, social media just kind of puts a big magnifying glass on it, you know. Because you know, a super obsessed fan is going to be a super obsessed fan regardless. But when you're a super obsessed fan in a world where it's very easy to get really super obsessed and then find communities of other super obsessed people very easily, you know, it just puts a big magnifying glass on it. So I don't think it's necessarily because of social media, but it doesn't, strictly speaking, help either, you know. To be fair, when we were young, we all get a little too invested, but fans these days are entitled. Oh, yeah, for sure, for sure. There's definitely an entitlement that you see now that, I don't know, maybe it was there in the 90s as well, but if it was, it certainly wasn't as prevalent. I understand kids getting excited, but a lot of people can be the same, which I find, yeah, no, for sure. That's what I mean. It's not just like the spotty face 13, 14 year olds, you know what I mean? It's not spotty face teenagers no more. Like some of them are like 25, 30. Some of them got kids themselves. It's like, yo, you're a parent and you're still alright. Agree about entitlement. And of course, everybody's allowed to like what they like. I ain't saying that. And of course, you can enjoy the things we enjoy, and we all like things that maybe other people think are weird or whatever. That's just how it is. But there's a point where it's just like it's not healthy. Yeah, here we go. Doja Cat loses over 200,000 followers in 24 hours after dissing fans. Yeah, so here's, I think, yeah, Doja Cat real name Amala Delmini was faced has faced massive backlash from her kittens for branding them crazy. The 27-year-old has lost over 200,000 followers and deactivated her Threads account after refusing to say she loved her fans. In a strange twist, Doja has since tweeted, "Can't wait to go on tour. Love you guys. Feeling blessed." On her terms. Uh, she had launched an attack on them using the term kittens, which dedicated followers call themselves, similar to Taylor Swift Swifties or Blinks. Many artists have pet names for their followers, with Doja offering the choice of names for fans in a poll back in 2020. My fans don't name themselves, said if you call yourself the kitten or getting, that means you need to get off your phone and get a job and help your parents with the house. I mean, she ain't wrong. She ain't wrong. Between kittens and cubs, which those are gradually put out. Writing because I don't feel morally right pet naming you guys. Yeah. I mean, it sounds to me like look, I ain't gonna act like I know what's going on with anybody, but it reads to me like she's done the celebrity thing. She's done like the typical thing you do as a celebrity. It just kind of got to a point where she's like, you know what, I don't want to do that no more. I don't want to do that no more. And then hey, good for her, man. Good for her. I got in trouble recently on a celeb site thing. They was on about Manson in court over wiping his nose on someone. I commented that snot Very nice. Very that's not very nice. That's just funny, really, though, isn't it? Jesus walks into a bar. Just 12 waters, please. Winks at disciples. I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm not sure I get that one. Just 12 waters, please. There's 12 disciples, right? So one for each of the disciples, or I think I'm missing something. But didn't Jesus walk on water? Oh, right. Gotcha. Sorry. Okay, I think I get it. No, I just I just wasn't connecting the dots is all. I just wasn't connecting the dots. Imagine getting triggered over that's not very nice. I bet they are fun employees. Yeah, I think some people, some say fans for example, are just so up their own arses that even just a regular schmegular innocent joke, they look at that as some kind of attack on somebody and they must defend that person with all their might. And it's like, bro, it's just a dumb joke. Well, I mean, it wasn't a dumb joke, but you know what I mean? But it was just a joke. Like, you can't even make a joke, and it's like people get all up in arms. This feels like it's like you know, when I was doing more reaction videos, and this is something I noticed then as well, is that unless you are absolutely kissing ass, right? Anything you say is taken as disrespect. Like if you said the song was pretty good, or something like that, you know, people take it as disrespect. You know, like unless you're like saying, "Oh my God, it's the most amazing thing I've ever heard in my," unless you're just absolutely kissing ass on this artist, people just take it as disrespect. They'll be like, "Well, why didn't you like it? Why didn't you like it?" As I mean, I said it was pretty good, but, and it asks you why. You know what I mean? It's just mad. It's just mad. Have you also ever heard of the Wilston Raider? I don't believe I have. Became a meme many years ago. Wilston Raider. Okay, let's look that up real quick. The Wilston Raider. It's an English builder, roofer builder, charity fundraiser. Years active 2013 till present. Gordon Palmer Hill, better known as the Wilston Raider, is an English builder who later gains prominence as an internet meme alongside supporter of Wilson FC. He gained attention due to a humorous viral video of him heckling opposing supporters at Whitehawk FC. Okay. So we can find the video that started it all. I think this is it. I think this is it. One second. See if I got it. Alright. Oh, you got it there. Okay. Alright. Even better. Let me copy that. I think they was defending the guy who got snorted on. I can't stand people like that. I don't like every single metallic post in the song. It's fine. This is the video in question. Alright, let's check this out. Wilston Raider.
Oh, just shit out! You've got no friends! You've got no ground!
Them fucking Hawks are playing well, I'm telling you.
Well, you want some?
Hey?
You want some?
Well, the Hawks are playing well, wouldn't
You
they?
want some or what?
In the bed?
You want some
They're
or what?
fantastic. They're fantastic.
You're playing shit because you've got no friends.
What
And
are
you're a
you?
load of wankers. If you want some, I'll give it you. You want to do with me?
I'm joking, I'm
Oh, just shit out! Oh, just shit out!
Well. When you support your team, you support your team. If they were defending the guy got snorted on, then that it's not very nice joke should have went well. People are dumb. People are dumb. Excuse me. Oof. But yeah, like, I don't know. Fans these days are a different breed. Just a different breed. It's like you can't just enjoy the music anymore. You can't just listen to a song and have it mean something to you. It's gotta, you gotta take it into online and try and bully people into agreeing with your dumbass opinion on things. And it's like, oh, jeez. There was a spoof post on Twitter that he is now dating Ariana Grande. So Andrew Tate replied saying Ariana Grande has no fans. So a load of her American fans started slaughtering him. Not understanding the joke. Alright. I ain't gonna lie, I probably wouldn't have got that joke either. That being said, I wouldn't be cussing somebody out for that either. So I don't even respond to them. People don't like a sense of humor. Those are not my people. Oh, for sure, for sure. Time to move on. Just goes to show how anything said about them and their fan base goes crazy, even if it's something harmless. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Andrew Tate is one of these interesting fellas, isn't he? Like, he's so controversial right now that anything, I think he's actually been banned from most, if not all, social media platforms. But he's so controversial right now that anytime he appears on like, you know, podcast or an interview or something like that, millions of views, millions and millions of views. And you know, because of that, like, people just can't keep his name out of their mouth. You know, they just can't keep his name out of their mouth. And the thing is, for all those people who say they don't like him, they just need to stop talking about him, because I'm pretty sure, and look, I ain't done no research, so I ain't gonna know this for a fact, but I feel like I'm pretty fairly confident in saying that there's more people that don't like him that talk about him on social media than people that do like him that talk about him on social media. I feel like there's more that don't, because that's all I ever hear is that he's a this and he's a that. So I feel like there's more people that don't like him that are talking about him on social media, right? And if they stopped talking about him, he wouldn't be a thing. But they keep talking about him. They keep bringing him up because it keeps getting views. It keeps getting attention. And I tell you, man, attention can be addicted. I don't even know him, only of him. Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, I did see a few clips recently. But yeah, like, he's not someone who's on my radar like that. I only know what people say about him because they keep talking about him. They keep posting about him. They keep bringing him up, and it's like, bruh, if you want this guy to go away, keep his name out your mouth. But they won't. They won't, because it's money. Maybe not directly, but it's money. I can all but guarantee that all those millions and millions of views that those videos get are mostly by people who probably don't like him, because they're watching it to find that thing that he said that they could, you know, talk about. This is why, you know. All right. Yeah, I have no real opinion on the dude. I mean, I think he's like anybody else, any other of these social pundits. He's gonna say stuff that is stupid. He's gonna say stuff that is, you know, a bit less stupid, right? Everybody has a mixture of, like, nobody's right all the time and nobody's wrong all the time. You know what I mean? If you speak enough stuff, you're gonna say some stupid things. You're gonna say some smart things. If you keep talking, that's just how it goes, right? So to me, he's like everybody else who enters into that arena. Some stuff he says is smart and cool and like, okay, I get your point. Other stuff is like, yeah, it's just stupid. You know, that's just dumb and stupid, and nobody should be taking it on board. But nobody is always right and nobody is always wrong. You know, it's up to each individual to kind of figure out what works for you and what doesn't, and don't just blindly follow anybody just because you're their fan, or blindly like disacknowledge somebody just because you decide you don't like them. Yeah. But yeah, why people don't need to kiss? That's exactly it. Like, if they stopped and left it alone, it'll go away like everybody else. You know what I mean? If you stop talking about it, you just go away like everybody else. But people just keep talking about him. Like, you go on Twitter and it's like you see people posting his name about, oh, I don't like what you said about this, and alright, well, don't talk about it. Like, bloody hell. I rarely see anybody bring up his name and say something positive. Rarely. There's vastly people say something negative about him. So I'm like, bro, just leave it alone, then. Leave it alone, but they won't. And you'll go on YouTube and you just see his name in videos. Andrew Tate said this, Andrew Tate said that, and I'm like, oh, jeez. I don't even watch those videos, right? But they get recommended because I guess they're so popular. And you know, not YouTube, but Google and all the other companies spy on you when you're asleep, or probably just me mentioning the name now, I'm probably gonna get a million recommendations or something like, oh, you must like Andrew Tate. How about this video? It's like, jeez, I don't care. I don't. I actually don't care. Well, not like that anyway. still not good enough. I did see one clip actually that my brother showed me where he was talking about the film Enter the Dragon, Bruce Lee movie, Enter the Dragon from 1970 something, and what he said about the film was pretty interesting to me. Where he talks about a scene where Bruce Lee's about to, like, it's all these bad guys coming to get Bruce Lee, right? And Bruce Lee's kind of ends up getting locked in this room, and he sits down calmly and just breathes and just stays really calm to himself. And he was talking about that scene, saying that, yeah, rather than, you know, getting mad or wasting his energy, he just sat there calmly, conserving his energy so that he can deal with the problem when it eventually comes. And I was like, oh, okay, you know, that's an interesting take on that scene of that film. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm not gonna. I feel like that's an interesting take on that scene, but yeah. And I feel like that's all you can do. You can take that and be like, oh, okay, that's interesting. I don't need to follow his, I don't know, 12-step plan or whatever. I don't know what he does, but you know what I mean. You can hear a clip, be like, oh, okay, that's an interesting idea, and then move on. You know, we good. we good. But you get some people who'd be like, oh, now I must listen to everything he ever says ever, and implement everything he ever says into my life, no matter what it is. Andrew Tate, we must obey every single word that he says. Oh my gosh, jeez, get a grip. You don't need to care that much, man. You don't. Some fan bases are more like cults. Hey, ain't that the truth? Seeing what he's gonna change his name to Tate. Have a cigar, and then Tate posters on his wall. Well, he already copied my bald bearded look, so I'm kind of mad at that, to be honest with you. I mean, I'm kind of mad at that. He copied my bald and bearded look, and now that gets associated with this bozo. It's like, yo, I did it first. Actually, I did it first. Man, Andrew Tate should be paying me royalties at this point. Copied my look. Gave us bald bearded people a bad name. You know, man should be giving me royalties, man. Breaking off some of that money. I'm not greedy. Just a few million, I think we do. Just a few million. I'm not a greedy person. Yeah, about 5 million pounds, by the way, not dollars, pounds, or 5 million pounds. So Mac has interest in fans also. Oh, for sure. Man, can you just like a song? Can you just like a song and move on? Or even like really like a song, Like, oh man, this song's amazing. It means so much to me. Cool. That's great. And then you can move on. Like you know, just because it means a lot to you doesn't mean it has to mean a lot to everybody else. You know. Who is he and what does he do? Who is your daddy and what does he do? There was this guy who braided his hair to look like Tom, just for bless you, strange individual. I mean, to be fair, that's probably not that bad, right? I mean, of all the, you know, obsessed fan things you can do, that's probably like more the tamer side of things. You know, getting your hair done in a similar way. You know, get the same kind of hairstyle. That's probably amongst the tamer side of things. I spent thousands to look like David Beckham, and he looks nothing like. Oh, I think I saw that actually. See, now that's crazy. That's crazy. This guy was. Oh, okay, fair enough. Did you get the same face tattoos as well? Because that would definitely be a step too far. Like, yeesh. To rap until I found some. Alright. Yeah. I saw somebody post something like that about Tom McDonald fans are not rap fans, they're just Tom McDonald fans. And that seems to be holding true. That seems to be holding true. Yeah, what I think is a bit lame though is when you have people who they're a fan of one artist, Tom McDonald for example, doesn't have to be, but his name's come up so why not? And then they'll be like, yeah, you know, and every other art, they'll be a Tom McDonald fan or whatever artist fan, and they'll just cuss every other artist. They'll be like, oh, this artist is rubbish, this artist is rubbish, this guy's a crap, these guys are lame, everybody's lame, these guys suck, everybody sucks, except, you know, their favorite artists. And I feel like that's such a lame approach. Like, I mean, look, if you like, again, if you like an artist, you can like an artist, and you don't have to like any other artist if you don't want to. But you can just like that artist. You know what I mean? You don't have to spend your time cussing out everybody else. You know what I mean? That's lame to me. That's lame to me. Just stands there and try to outdo other fans to see who can be the big. Yeah, that could be it. I'm not big into rap, but I've listened to it in the past, like some artists. I do like Kendrick, to some Tech Nine, so I'm not just a Tom fan. Branching out, yeah. But yeah, it's like I do feel like if you like an artist, one of the things that I think you should do, especially if you consider yourself a fan of the artist, is look up the artists that inspired them, because every artist has an inspiration, right? So if your favorite artist, like I'm you know, Chili Peppers for me, for example, you know, if you're a fan of Chili Peppers, you should be looking up people like Jimi Hendrix. You know what I mean? Because like everything comes from something, and of course, there's only so far you could go back. I get that, but if you consider yourself a fan of an artist, I feel like it's an important thing to look up the artist that inspired them. Um, for one thing, it informs you more about maybe some of the choices that they've made, and also it broadens your own horizons to different types of music out there. But if you're just so closed off that you absolutely will not take anything else on except this one artist, I don't know, man. That don't seem like a good idea to me. I used to listen to Tupac and Dre back in the day. I just think a lot of rap is trash today, apart from a few. But to me, I don't care about genre. I just like music that makes me feel something. Have you listened to any new artists recently? Haze on Spotify. By new, I mean new to you, even if it isn't modern music. Well, not Spotify, because I don't use Spotify like that. But new to me, I think there's been a few. Let me check my music history real quick. So I think there has been a few. Let's see here. Let me go into my recent activity. There we go. So what's new to me? You know what? YouTube Music is actually difficult to find stuff on sometimes, like certain details. You know what? Maybe not. Okay, here's one. There's an artist called Cadet. He actually passed away some years back, and although I knew of him, I hadn't listened to anything of his. But recently, yeah, I was listening to his album that was released after he died. So he recorded an album, but it didn't come out until after he died. And I was listening to that, and that was a pretty solid album. So yeah, there's Cadet. That's kind of like grime hip hop music. Another artist who's new to me. I don't know how it's pronounced, but in fact, let me just show you because you can see it for yourself. But that is the artist name. So it's brackets open, like 3 open brackets, the letter O, and then 3 closed brackets. I mean, I've just been referring to, I think it's a her. I actually don't know if it's a guy or a girl, but I've been referring to them, I suppose, as O. But yeah, I've been listening to their stuff, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. It's like kind of real chill music. So that's new to me. I feel the same way, Sam. I like what I like and don't pigeonhole myself into just one genre. And just so you know, I wasn't trashing Tom. I actually like a lot of the songs, but his fan base is weird. Yeah. Bottom right says Taylor's subscribed. Taylor subscribed. What? Bottom right where? What are we looking? Let me show you actually. This is, I guess, all the recent artists, sorry, all the artists I've been listening to recently. So Victoria Monet, she's not new. I've known about her for a while, but kind of newish, I guess. The Prodigy, but a lot of these are old school artists though. The Prodigy, Tracy Chapman, All in Reverse, been around a while. Diva Eve. You might not know about her, but she's pretty cool. I actually interviewed her for my podcast. Joe Leaf. That's practically my nephew, actually. So big up Joe Leaf. I went to school with his mother, so yeah. Natalie Imbruglia, Loreen, Janelle Monáe, Ariana Grande, Mac Miller, Ayeli. So yeah, these are all the artists I've been listening to in recent times. Oh, is it too small? Alright, one sec. One sec. Yeah. Cover me up a little bit. I'd never heard of him, so I gather that's what you meant. Yeah. So good. But yeah, any artists you see here is stuff that I've listened to, I guess. I don't want to say all recently, some of them probably go back a while, but you know. Taylor Tay. It's a found a Greek Gorgon Medusa head ring on Amazon the other night. It's in stock, luckily. Thought about wanting to order it for my B-Day or Christmas. Mother said she can get it around September. Hopefully still in stock by September. Sometimes you just gotta go for it. Sometimes you just gotta pull the trigger. Torn was a classic, but I also like Shiver. Yeah, I was listening to her album recently actually, because I don't think I actually bothered to listen to her album when it came out. But I listened to Natalie and Bruce's album recently, and it's pretty solid. Yeah, pretty solid. I mean, I can't name you any tracks on it right now, but yeah, it's pretty solid. Okay, I think this is just going into my library right now, not necessarily stuff that I've listened to recently. So, yeah. Do you guys know about Bieber Doobie? If you don't know about Bieber Doobie, you better get to know about Bieber Doobie. This is one of my favorite new artists as well, I guess. But again, been around a little while. But yeah, she's pretty awesome. She's pretty awesome. She's got 2 albums out right now, and I think a 3rd one on the way. But yeah, if nothing else, check out Bieber Doobie. Right now, any song of hers I should check out. What's my favorite song of hers? I'll probably go with. I think The Perfect Pair is a nice one. That's on the Beatopia album, The Perfect Pair. But yeah, and I like all that stuff, but that's probably one that stands out to me the most. Gonna get my trigger finger measures to the finger I wanna have it on, so I can order the right size. Oh, for sure. You can actually measure yourself though. Like if you wrap a measuring tape around and note the millimeters, and you can compare the millimeters to ring sizes. But yeah, she's got 2 albums out. This is Beatopia. That's her last album from last year. Most recent album from last year. And then Fake It Flowers was her debut album from 2020. And then outside of that, singles and EPs and all the stuff that artists do. But yeah, no, she's been a pretty solid artist from. I think I've known about around about the time Fake It Flowers came out, so not quite recent, I guess, but still pretty new-ish, Yeah, I'll put the measurement. I already know I will. Alright. No bother. Got it jotted down. Awesome. Bieber Doobie. See you soon indeed. Beatrice Christie EVGA Laos, known professionally as Bieber Doobie or B. Christie, is a Filipino English singer and songwriter. From 2018 to 2021, she released 5 extended plays under the independent. Okay, yeah, let's pick us off. Yeah, if you see how it looks, you can Google it. Oh right, yeah. Yeah, gotcha. songs I like that I've heard recently include Anne Marie and Shania Twain. Oh, Shania Twain rather. Shania. Wait a minute. Shania or Shania? There's Shania Twain. But Shania, I said, you know, whatever. Shania, Shania, yeah. Unhealthy and Olivia. Oh yeah, I know that song. Olivia Rodrigo, Vampire. Have you heard those? I haven't heard the Unhealthy one. I have heard Vampire. Yeah, that's a popular song right now. That's a popular song. The thing about Olivia Rodrigo though, like, I ain't gonna lie, man. I like her songs. She's a good artist. She really is. But mate, she needs to vet her boyfriends better. Like, she might need to start. I don't know, man. Make him do interviews or something, because bruh, how many how many songs you gonna put out about some rotten ex-boyfriend or something? It's like, dude, you need to start vetting your boyfriends, man. You need to, like, I don't know, maybe get your dad to help or something. I don't know, man, but mate, that's a whole album out, and it's like all these songs about some rotten ex. I hope it's. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it's better that it's all the same guy or if it's different guys. I don't know what's the better. I don't know what's the better scenario. Whether she's talking about the same guy or lots of different guys. I don't know, but mate, she needs to. Bro, she might need some relationship counseling or something, man. I don't know. Taylor Swift's their hero, so okay, well, that explains it. But Taylor Swift, Olivia Rodrigo, and Adele, all those ladies, they need to vet their boyfriends better. They need to vet their boyfriends better, man. Just make them do a test. I don't know, man. Do something. But hey, I mean, it gives them good material to write songs with. So good songs come out of bad situations. I guess is the thing. It's the thing. Oof. All right. Gonna learn today. Okay, so it's about that time. Start winding down, wrapping up. Next live stream tomorrow. Watching X-Files episodes 4, 5, and 6 tomorrow. If I'm counting rightly. Episodes 4, 5, and 6. So yeah, starting at 8 p.m. GMT-ish. If you could join me then, that'd be awesome. But yeah, that's gonna be all for now. Let's see here. The Red Hot Chili Peppers, my favorite bands. They're amongst my favorite bands for sure. I mean, I think my favorite kind of ebbs and flows depending on how I'm feeling any particular day. But yeah, Chili Peppers have been amongst my favorite bands for a long time now, from like 90 something when I first started listening to them, and till now I still like their music, and their new album they put out, Dream Canteen, thought was incredible. So yeah, I still like the Chili Peppers. Them, Metallica, who else? Slipknot, Pantera. Well, not really Pantera because they're not really around anymore, but you know. But there's a lot of artists. I think like for me, it really just depends what kind of mood I'm in, what kind of day I'm on. You know, there's gonna be days where I listen to a lot of rock music. There's gonna be days where I listen to a lot of rap music. There's gonna be days where I listen to a lot of, you know, grime. There'll be days where I listen to more pop music. I think my favorites just vary so much, but yeah, Chili Peppers would be amongst them. We all went out during the week, so songs were playing. So he picked High School Sweethearts. I was like, what in that toxic relationship is this? High School Sweethearts. I don't think I know that song, but yeah, if it's toxic, I'll check it out. It's on their most recent album. Yeah, I can understand that. Probably The Drummer. I think I'll go with. That's one I added to my workout playlist. The Drummer. It's got a kind of a nice kind of cool beat to it. But yeah, guys, you have been awesome as always. I appreciate you and all that you do. Thanks for keeping me company. Thanks for keeping it lively. Until whenever, if ever. Peace.